I'm the referee. I spoke to you both in the dressing room. Obey my command at all times. You both done the rules. Watch the heads, hit the punches up. And when I shout break, you break clean. And remember, defend yourself at all times. Shake hands.
Well, what a night this promises to be for Dungiven and Paul McCloskey up against the wily old veteran DeMarcus Corley, who comes in here with new life in his legs.
Second time, round one.
Two clever, crafty, cagey southpaws. You won't be at all surprised to learn that they're both fans of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, who wrote the book on clever, crafty southpaws. You won't be at all surprised if the opening exchanges are very tentative indeed as they try and work each other out. And plenty on the line for McCloskey. They are continuing to work towards that second shot at a world title, but he's got to win here, and ideally he's got to look good here as well, and against Corley, that's far from easy.
Yeah, that could be the difficulty, looking good against Corley. But, I mean, the older Corley's getting, the more he's standing his ground, and he's in better fights. When he was younger, he was cagey. He moved around a lot. So, no, I think this could actually catch fire quite early. So you can see already they're both standing in range, trying to get the punches off, but you can see they're both cagey, both know what they're about.
Last time we saw McCloskey, he made that slow start against Braders Prescott on the floor early. Lost his nose as early as round two, but came on so strongly, showed a lot of guts and heart. A lot of people thought that Prescott had done enough to hang on, but it was certainly a very strong finish from McCloskey. And that was enough for the judges to see it his way. And maybe because he's seen that, DeMarcus Corley has come in and said, there's no way I'm going to try and eke out a decision here. I've come here to knock Paul McCloskey out.
Nice defensive work from Corley. As usual, McCloskey's right hand carried very low. Just as I'm saying that, Corley lets the left hand go. That looks to me to be the punch.
A lot of probing. Not much risk taking. Why would you this early? Corley effortlessly gets himself, just slides out of trouble. And gets away again, out of range. And McCloskey's going to have to be patient in this one.
Well, McCloskey doing the work in the opening round, but not landing with any really telling punches. But I'm sure he's learned already just how cute and cagey Corley is.
Rejuvenated after that win against the unbeaten prospect Gabriel Bracero of Puerto Rico. Had him down 2 or 3 times. Was on the floor himself late on, but had put enough points in the bank to get the win. That snapped a losing streak when he's been a bit of a nomad. He's travelled all around the world, Kazakhstan, Ukraine. He's been in the UK against Junior Witter, Argentina, where he had that nightmare against Lucas Matisse. A cagey first round, as we expected.
You turn the left hand to keep it straight. Your land, every time you throw it straight, your land.
Left hand, right hand.
Keep it as straight as you can.
John Breen in the ring there. He's the man that runs Paul McCloskey's corner. Around the Irish boxing scene a long time. Knows his man very well indeed. Corley's up on early. Ready to resume hostilities.
Seconds out, round two.
Not much to choose between them in that opening session.
No, not much at all, but McCloskey was a little bit busier, put a little bit more into the opening session, but punches landed not an awful lot to split them. Probably trying to snap the southpaw jab out at the start of the second round here.
It's nearly 11 years since DeMarcus Corley stepped in at unfeasibly short notice and picked up the WBO title. And Felix Flores. And this is the man who's mixed it at the very, very highest level, defended a couple of times, once against Randall Bailey, he can bang a bit, and lost it to Zab Judah, that's 9 years ago. Went the distance with Floyd Mayweather, shook him up as well. Hurt Miguel Cotto as well, before Cotto hurt him. Just a handful of stoppages against Corley.
McCloskey has to be careful that he doesn't spend the night just being a little bit too predictable for this fellow. You're going to have to spring little surprises, show little feints. You're not just going to march forward and pin him on the end of that southpaw jab. That worked at domestic level for him, so a little bit more imagination is going to be required as this one goes along.
Clever from Corley, got his attack in, but blocked the attack from McCloskey. It's interesting talking to Eddie Hearn the other day, and he agreed that McCloskey's really got to go out and prove that he belongs at world class, and a scout like this would do that, because the Prescott fight, yes, he showed a lot of heart, yes, he finished strongly, but he certainly didn't dominate. And against Khan, yes, there was the stoppage, but he barely laid a glove on Khan. He really needs to make a statement to show that he belongs.
He's been clipped as he's coming forward now. He's missing, but Corley clipping him with little counter punches. Not a lot in the shots, but there you go. Nice little burst from Corley there. So as I say, can't afford to be predictable with this fellow. He knows all the tricks.
Getting through again with the left hand, Corley. Doing a good, solid defensive job as well for Washington, D.C. Some of those jabs falling short.
Good work in this round.
Just clipped him again with one of those right hands this time.
And again, I'm just wondering how many southpaws McCloskey, because that's 3 times in the trot a southpaw right lead. It's caught him bang on. A little bit of damage to the nose, yep.
Just like he had against Brady's Prescott in round 2, the nose is in trouble. No real sense that McCloskey was getting hurt in that last round, but he certainly was getting picked off, and some damage has clearly been done.
Yep, and if the nose damage is as bad as we think, a little bit of the forearm going in there.
Corners 10 seconds.
You see, that's all the tricks we're seeing now, just a little bit of a forearm come elbow there. But the problem with that nose, if it affects his breathing, that's big problems this early in a fight.
Once again, DeMarcus Corley making a little statement. 38 next month he may be, but he doesn't need 60 seconds rest. He's up and off his stool, just like he was at the end of first round for the start of the second. So some mind games coming from Chop Chop as well. And that blood continuing to seep from the nose. They haven't managed to stop it. That is messy. Through with the left hand, couldn't follow up with the right, Corley. And again, McCloskey's out of range.
I just think McCloskey's a little bit tentative the way he's throwing the punches. He's not throwing them with the confidence that they're going to land, and that's because of the slick moves of Corley. That was better from McCloskey. But he's going to have to commit himself when he decides to throw punches. He's going to have to throw them as though he believes they're going to land. And if he puts punches together, then that doesn't allow the counter to come back. But these single jabs, not wise.
Corley still looking very much like he's in his own comfort zone. Just picking his shots, trying to work on that nose, which really is messed up. Better from McCloskey, but look at the blood. It is just pouring out of the nose at the moment. A bit of chit-chat going on in the ring as well.
He's actually spitting blood out as well. I don't know if that's just it's running down from his nostrils and his breathing, but that really is a bad nose injury he's got there. That's problems, obvious problems in his breathing. He's not finding the target there.
He's getting through with another right hand there, Corley, who said no problem earlier to McCloskey. McCloskey's got problems. Again missing, again coming in with the forearm, Corley. Referee Ian John Lewis letting that one go as well. He's happy just to turn the fist, isn't he, and get through with the forearm.
It's maybe another round where McCloskey hoping to win it on work rate. But he's been clipped with nice punches as he comes forward. There's that right hook lead again.
He looks sharper and cleverer, doesn't he, Corley, at the moment, for all this work rate in industry.
Yeah, McCloskey not really producing. Doing pretty much the same thing. He's clipped again and again.
And that was more than a clip. That was a solid right hand followed up with a left as well. And Corley's finding his range and getting good success on a consistent basis. And again, he's wobbled that time. The warnings were there. And it's a right hand that's wobbled him right on the bell. And that was a pretty bad round by any standards. Well, the nose is a disaster at the moment, but his defensive work just fell apart the longer that round went.
See, I think he's too tentative. He's throwing leads but not committing himself, standing at the perfect range for a counter-puncher like Corley to come back with his own shots. So, big problems, and he was definitely shaken with the right hook in that round, so he's now find that Corley, as well as being awkward and cagey, he has the power to hurt him. All the quality shots in that round came from Corley. That was the shot. Yep, you could just see the little reaction, knocked him onto his heels, but it was too close to the bell to find out if any lasting damage. Big problems for Paul McCloskey.
Seconds out, round 4.
Yeah, they really are. And you made the point earlier, Jim, how many southpaws and decent southpaws as Paul McCloskey faced. And don't forget, for much of his training camp, he was preparing for Julio Diaz. So McCloskey, at 3 weeks' notice, knew he had to face Corley. Corley will step in at 5 minutes' notice, we know that.
See, I think adding to his problems, McCloskey likes to draw leads, he likes to counter-punch himself. He'll come onto the front foot, but drawing mistakes from DeMarcus Corley, not easy, and he's not making any. So nothing for McCloskey to pounce on.
Well, it didn't look too clever for McCloskey after 3 rounds against Brady's Prescott last time out in September, but he managed to turn that around. And again, he's just walked onto another right hand.
He's maybe just a little bit too amateurish tonight, McCloskey. You know, he doesn't have the look of a rounded pro. And still not committing himself to the attacks that he's making.
And they just can't do anything about that blood seeping from the nose.
That's better.
Corley with a look as if to say, is that the best you've got, though? Comes back with another one of those cuffing little right hands. And they've been there for him throughout this fight. Glancing left hand from McCloskey. Corley saw it coming. That's better.
See, he has to commit himself.
But look what happens. As soon as he did get through with that right lead, he took a combination from Corley, who punished him for it. And there's another one of those swinging left hands.
See, McCloskey has retained a lot of his amateur style. He stands tall, he pulls his head back from punches. He's just doing that as I'm speaking now. So against Corley, who moves in with the shots, that's dangerous.
Yeah, his leads just not causing Corley any problems. He's getting caught with the counters. They're waiting to cheer here. Anything that McCloskey does, any little success, they will. The veteran, 38 next month, just looking comfortable. That was a bit crude, really. Just threw another right hand there, and that got through.
There's a bit more upper body movement from McCloskey now, which is sensible. You can't march straight forward. But Corley again, giving as good as he's getting. Tough to split him in this round.
And a couple of decent shots landed a few moments ago from McCloskey as well. Got through with the left and then a straight right.
Has to change the pace. This pace suits the almost 38-year-old Corley.
DeMarcus Corley ready for action again. He knows exactly where the target area is.
Yeah, that was a tough round to score, but the
Corners,
better
10
punching,
seconds.
the hurtful punches were coming from Corley, with some good little burst back from McCloskey.
Seconds out, round 5.
There's a little bit of success there at the end of that last round for McCloskey. Now, can he build on that? Can he keep some momentum going in his direction? Work with the right hand again from the local man. Looking to try and up the tempo here. And better upper body movement as well. Corley not able to pick him off, but still he's open. Those right hands again. The blood started already.
And that's the kind of amateurish mistakes I'm speaking of. He gets his punches off and then he stands there for the counters with his head held high. But again, the work rate is still good.
Well, he is sticking with it, and he's not allowing Corley to dominate these rounds.
But against a counter puncher, you don't want to be throwing single punches, single leads. You want to put them out in threes. Don't give him time to set up the counters. Trying to change the tempo a little bit, McCloskey, which is wise. Good jab from him.
And again, the right hand. That is doing a lot of damage, that Corley right hand. Looking to try and pick his shots, and again he's wobbled by the right hand. Done it again. Now the kidology begins, but the legs definitely buckled. And now Corley changes the attack again. Solid right hand to the body.
Well, I said twice, Corley has shown the power to trouble McCloskey, and again McCloskey does the silly things, drops the hands and tries to do the macho act. Not clever.
McCloskey responding as we've seen him respond so often to adversity, just upping the tempo, getting through with a right hand of his own.
It's been a decent round for McCloskey, apart from that little crisis there. He set a good work rate, he's putting punches together, but really his concentration, he has to keep his mind on the job. Always remember, this fellow can be dangerous.
And again, good defensive work from Corley, just getting the glove up. The first right missed, the second he followed it up. Corley just keep him busy.
Let him bring him, let him punish him, let him walk at him.
Sticking to the task, Paul McCloskey, keeping his work rate going, but paying the price every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I thought that was a decent round from McCloskey, but this is the stupidity he shows when he takes a good shot. You know, keep your mind on the job, and it really should be carrying that. That's the one that shook him up a little bit, and then the crazy response from him. Apart from that little crisis, I thought he boxed well in that round.
Corley was up early once again. He has been throughout the fight. Corley's got to be careful that he doesn't allow McCloskey to out-hustle him here, because the work rate, even if the quality isn't really there on a consistent level from McCloskey, he's keeping busy. It's so open to those right-hand counters.
Corley still has the speed with that southpaw right hand, and McCloskey dealt with that one well. Wants to show little feints. Just can't match straightforward into this guy.
Just missed there. They got punished for it, Corley. No sign at all that McCloskey's managing to get Corley knocked out of this comfort zone that he's in at the moment. Decent jab coming in, trying to follow up again, but I think Corley just managed to block that one off. Hook getting through from Corley. Well, it's settled down into what we thought it was going to be. Cagey, tricky.
Well, the better punches at the moment coming from Corley.
That was better from McCloskey. And can he keep the pressure on? That's a little bit better. And then he just sits back and allows Corley to find a response, and that's a decent response. Good combination from Corley. A little warning from Ian John Lewis to keep the punches up.
And again, the poor defence of McCloskey. Bit more aggression from Corley now. Is he going to start trying to push McCloskey onto the back foot?
Well, there is this risk, isn't it? If you allow McCloskey just to pour forward, there is a chance that that's going to catch the judge's eyes. You just get the sense that Corley is barely moving through the gears at the moment. Getting through once again and just pot-shotting away. The right hand coming through. And again, the defences for McCloskey falling apart a bit.
He's not really putting a dent in Corley, that's the problem. I mean, Corley's still looking as comfortable now as he was at the first bell.
That was a solid looking left hook right on the bell as well. Well, there's not been much for this King's Hall crowd, which is at near capacity to get excited about. DeMarcus Corley just been picking him off. Pretty much as and when he wants.
Down with your dad. Pull him in the head, send that two over top.
Yep, another round with the punches that you remember seem to come from Corley. Good body shot, and against a 38-year-old, that might be a plan. Well, Corley 1 point up at the moment. A lot of those rounds are close. I scored some of them to McCloskey for the work rate, but he's not really getting a chance to produce the quality that we expect from him. Corley, very difficult man to deal with.
Corners 10 seconds.
Yeah, in terms of punches landed and success percentage, something very little to choose between them. And this is where Corley's got to be really, really careful. He's in the other guy's backyard, and McCloskey is definitely working the harder of the two. Never mind the actual quality, he's keeping busy. And that's keeping him right in the middle of this. Very finely balanced, this fight between two capable counter-punching southpaws.
I think a worrying thing is the fact that Corley still looks as though he could step up if he decides to. It was better.
And that was much better. Solid right hand, and the chit-chat continues.
See, that's what I'm thinking. A 38-year-old, at that stage of your career, you're not doing the groundwork that you used to do to toughen up the midsection, so I wonder if McCloskey can work the body a little bit more, but still the fence is letting him down.
Better again from McCloskey. And now it's Corley's turn to do the shrugging and saying, no, that didn't bother me. But it's McCloskey that's doing the eye-catching stuff here in round 7.
He needs to bring his left hand into play a bit more, lead with the jab and come back.
Now looking to up the tempo as well, McCloskey, just trying to turn it up a little notch. Better defensively, and then catches him with the left hand. This is better for McCloskey.
Well, now he's throwing punches with a little bit more confidence. Took a good right hook again. That's the danger shot. And again.
Been there all night for him, hasn't it?
Well, the story was that Corley has put £2,000 on himself to win this, and he wanted to put a further £1,000 on to score the knockout. That's coming from his camp. I don't know how true it is, But you can see why. Another solid shot from him.
It really was, and again, it's the danger right hand. Better from McCloskey defensively. He's taken some solid shots in this round.
See, McCloskey produces some good work, and his concentration seems to let him down, and his defence is scattered. I mean, a lot of good work in this round from McCloskey. Then he allows himself to be pulled into little crises.
McCloskey getting through with a single right hand. Really looking to try and find a response.
See, that's better, but he has to keep his concentration. He wants to tighten his defences. It's probably too late to do that in his career. But his concentration, he has to work on that. But I did enough to nick that.
DeMarcus Corley walks back to his corner. Very, very happy with his night's work so far. Let's see how Tyrone Jones feels about it.
You're pulling him over to your left hand. He can't see it coming if you just let it go. Chop, you're pulling over there. Crack. When you pull back, it's right there, baby. It's right there. You can't see that motherfucker coming. Now, after you touch him with it, dig that motherfucker right up under the gut.
McCloskey produces some good work. Then you think, right, he's going to get things under control. Working the body, which I feel is a real good idea against Corley. But then he seems to lose his concentration. He starts taking back shots he shouldn't be taking, but a lot of good work in that round from McCloskey. But we need that, and then we need the concentration to match.
Well, Corley's ready.
Round in.
You just get the sense that DeMarcus Corley needs to start finding something a bit extra, because McCloskey, we saw against Prescott, really poured it on in the latter stages after a shaky start when he was on the floor and had his nose broken. And it was enough to catch the judge's eyes. And he's clawing his way back into this. Corley said when he came in, no, I'm in his backyard. I've got to bring my levelers with me. I've got to knock him out.
Double him with the jab there, which is working. As I keep saying, single punches no good against this cagey fellow. Double up, bring the left hand into play.
Just another big uppercut there, McCloskey.
Yeah, but at least he tried something a little bit out of the ordinary. That's what's needed here, a bit of imagination. Show little feints, good defensive work there from him.
It's been a while since Corley's had a lot of success. The defensive work, apart from the little laps that you talk about, has sharpened up from McCloskey. He was wide open for the first 3 or 4 rounds. He's looking to just get through with single shots. Around their counters. And McCloskey looked out of the ring there. Let his concentration wander for a moment. And here comes McCloskey trying to turn it up a little bit. Corley staying with him.
Well, another round where he's produced good work, but he must stick with it now. Don't lose his grip on this.
Tough round to score though again. All the hustle coming from the Irishman. Better again from McCloskey. And Corley not doing a lot in this round.
The trouble is, when he goes to work, there is real quality in his punches, but I just don't feel he's doing enough. But there's always the danger. I mean, he's shown a couple of times he can hurt McCloskey. Nice little burst there from McCloskey. This is better.
Well, he's starting to find a bit of rhythm, McCloskey, isn't he? And Corley has been missing a lot more than he was earlier in the fight.
But he's still living dangerously, McCloskey.
The scales might be tipping.
Yeah, he's keeping the tempo up, which is good. And that, for me, that's winning this round for him. He's sticking with the job. That was a good round for McCloskey.
Clawing his way back into it, that's how we're seeing it. What about the guys in our studio? Barry McGuigan, how are you seeing it so far?
And Nick, I think he's just beginning, like you say, to get back into the fight again and get a little bit more confidence. But this guy, DeMarcus Corley, is in a remarkable shape for a 38-year-old. He's so dangerous. He's not just a puncher, he's clever too, and he's setting things up. So McCloskey's got to be careful the whole way through the fight, but he's beginning to get back into it.
Glenn McCrory, would you agree? Is McCloskey getting himself back into this?
I think he is. I've got McCloskey a couple of rounds up. I think the work's good. You know, the concentration for the most part is very good, and he's letting his shots go well. Every now and again, he just, you know, the defenses slip, and you know, he makes himself look quite amateurish. But he's just got to keep the concentration and keep doing what he's doing, up in the tempo.
Corners 10 seconds.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, guys. You're so right what you said, Barry, about DeMarcus Corley being fit. He basically has been at this weight his entire 16-year career, and he thinks he could drop down to 135 and still be comfortable at it. But let's see who can find the afterburners now, because we're down to the last 4 rounds of this one. Not much in it, whichever way you look at it. McCloskey ahead for you now, Jim.
Yeah, I have him 1 point up. He's doing that in work rate, and the fact now that he's changed the tempo of the fight. He was boxing at the wrong tempo for the first 6 rounds. And there are signs that Corley's slowing down. He's still dangerous. There's still quality in the punches that he throws. But I think there's a fair old dip in his work rate. So things looking good at the moment for McCloskey. But then you see things like that happening.
Yeah, the openings are there for Corley, but he needs to just really start up in the work rate and matching McCloskey for work rate alone, and it seems unwilling to do that, or maybe unable to do that on those aging legs of his. Flicking up his right hands. That was a better response from McCloskey, who knows what his management team are working towards. Talking to Eddie Hearn, they were talking about the dream is that Danny Garcia faces a Jose Oleshigan for the WBC title, and if Oleshigan wins, they'll try and bring him here to defend against McCloskey. It's also talk that he might face Manuel Marquez in Dallas as well. That's a less likely option.
I mean, you have to ask, I mean, let's analyse McCloskey's performance. I mean, world-rated fighters handle this fellow, Corley. So, unless he really begins to take charge in the last third of this fight, big questions, you know. Could he win a world title? Makes a lot of basic mistakes, not a great defence. So really we're expecting him to take charge in the last third of this.
And this is still the question over Paul McCloskey, isn't it? He's moved beyond British and European level, where he was unbeaten, but has he quite made that step up to world class yet? A lot of people said he didn't beat Brady Prescott, although he got the decision.
And he didn't really put an awful lot into his challenge against Amir Khan. He seemed to be boxing behind Khan. So, really, we want to see him really produce the goods. To his credit, he's been boxing with a badly damaged nose for about 11 of the rounds tonight, if this goes all the way. And he is beginning to produce. He's changed the tempo, he's lasting the pace better than Corley. So, but winning it purely on work rate, you want to be doing better than that against a 37, almost 38-year-old Corley.
Corley has basically maintained the same pace throughout. Nothing seems to have bothered him. Certainly nothing seems to have troubled him, but again, he's just stepped up the tempo enough, McCloskey here, to just keep picking him off.
That's good, the body shots too, but want to see more of those. That's more like it from McCloskey.
And a sneer of almost contempt there from DeMarcus Corley as he went back to his corner.
Get head back, get head forward. Forward, son, please. Come through them. Tommy has it. What got it? Until he starts for him, they're not too hooked up. I continue to put him in the guy. Pop. Tommy gets a bit of grease up there.
No, well, McCloskey, he's taking charge a bit more, and it's the first time I've used that phrase tonight, which is good. He's using the jab well, but look at the defences here. Look what his hands are. I mean, these are basic mistakes you should not be making at this level. And you have to wonder, for proper world level, is he just a little bit too easy to hit?
Goddamn, start coming. You act like a wild man in this motherfucker now. Turn him under.
Apologies for the language, but Tyrone Jones trying to light a fire under his man. It's gone by pretty quickly, this one, hasn't it? Two fellas, similar styles. Round 10, the early rounds belonging to DeMarcus Corley. The bigger and better and stronger work rate and effort coming from Paul McCloskey the longer the fight's gone on. Now you just get the sense that Corley's got to make some kind of statement here.
Well, McCloskey showed last time out against Prescott that he can dig in, he can stand the pain of a badly damaged nose and just grind out a result. Well, we want to see him do it again tonight. He's never really gotten Corley under control, so he's just going to have to do it on work rate, just sheer drive.
Right to the body from Corley. Has to switch it to a left there, and as he now starts to attack the body after McCloskey targeted it towards the end of the last round. Good upper body movement again from McCloskey, just rolling with those punches. And again.
Corley trying to raise his game a little bit.
And a left hook from McCloskey. Just under the short rib. Better again from McCloskey. Corley looking to try and find a response, but the quality and accuracy that we were seeing from Corley earlier is not there now.
And he's never sustained any attack. We've seen little bursts from Corley, but we've never seen him sustain. Obviously, at this stage, in this age, he's at. We can't expect too much of him, but he's putting up a terrific show here. But maybe just been outworked again.
Decent jabs getting through from McCloskey, but then right hand again from Corley. McCloskey was just wide open to those right hands earlier. You just feel that McCloskey had worked it a little harder in the earlier rounds. This could have got very interesting, especially as he seemed to just wobble him a couple of times.
Well, we've mentioned some names recently. Juan Manuel Marquez. Can you imagine Granted Marquez?
Oh, good right hand. McCloskey, though, has soaked it up. But again, wide open to it, just as you mentioned, Juan Manuel Marquez. What on earth would have happened if Marquez had landed that?
I'm just saying, can you go into a fight like that with that defence? I mean, that's terrible.
And he's all over the place again. And Ian John Lewis is stood in, and what's going on here?
He stopped
Has he stopped it?
I don't believe this.
Well, he seemed to step in, and he has.
He can't.
He has. That's unbelievable. That is incredible.
I do not believe this. He was hurt by the punch. He was on his feet. He was looking straight back. And that was not a decision by Ian John Lewis. That was a reaction. He jumped in. He didn't think. He didn't have a second look. I cannot believe the stoppage there. And I think once he jumped in between the fighters, the referee had put himself in a spot where he had no option. He had to stop the fight. He probably didn't want to stop it, but the fact that he jumped in between the action, he had no option. He had committed himself and he stopped the fight.
He made his move, hadn't he?
But he must know that should never have been a stoppage. Never should that fight have been stopped. He was hurt. There's no question about that. But this is the hurt business. You have to give a fighter a chance to deal with a big shot. So here we'll see the punch. That one was low. Bang. Now that was a good shot. He was hurt. But look, he's looking straight back. He's looking straight back at Corley, waiting to see what's coming next. The punch hurt him, but it didn't put him down. He's looking straight back at his opponent. Bang. Okay, a big shot, and it staggered him. He's jumped in. He was staggered. You could see the legs, the effect in the legs. But at this level, virtually a world title.
He seemed to be caught in two minds, didn't he, as well? Did he wave it off or didn't he? And then he decided yes.
He was hurt. There's no question McCloskey was hurt. You could see the legs, the effect in the legs. But that's what boxing's all about. You have to give a fighter at this level a chance to see, can he cope with it? Look, he's looking straight back. And he's saying, I'm okay, but I think by that time, Ian John Lewis had jumped in. So the move had been made, and I think he was stuck with the decision he made.
And what a decision as well. We won't know. We will never know what would have happened now. But Ian John Lewis has effectively destroyed Paul McCloskey's hopes of a world title fight.
I mean, if you look here, I mean, you do see the legs have done a dance here. You know, and he's jumped in. He saw the legs doing a dance, and he's jumped straight in, probably feeling at that second that he was doing the right thing. He was hurt, there's no question he was definitely hurt. But a fight at this level, you have to give a fighter a chance to see he'd been hurt before in the fight and he coped with it. But there you go, dreams are in tatters.
And this crowd stunned into silence. What an extraordinary and what an unsatisfactory ending as well. Yes, he was hurt. Yes, Corley could have gone in for the finish. But his powers of recovery are good. We know that. We've seen that before.
I mean, there was a reaction in the legs. You have to say that. Ian John Lewis was behind them at the time. There was a way down to his boots. He was really shaken up with a punch. But at this level, you have to give a fighter a chance to see if he can cope with it, deal with it, and get himself back into things.
Well, what a night of disappointment for Paul McCloskey. Just when it looked like he was turning it around, and certainly the guys upstairs saw him getting back into it, but DeMarcus Corley is the man that's smiling now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dale Elliott, our timekeeper, has recorded a time of 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the 10th round. Referee Ian John Lewis has stopped this contest with McCloskey in no position to continue. Your winner from Washington, USA, Chop Chop, DeMarcus Corley. Let's show our appreciation, please, for Dudey